Today we're going to talk about one of humanity's oldest and most powerful stories, a tale of incredible ambition, amazing innovation, and the exact moment it all just fell apart. This, of course, is the story of the Tower of Babel.
So to really get into this, I want you to just imagine for a second a world with zero language barriers, a time when every single person shared one voice, one understanding, and one gigantic collective dream. I mean, where does that kind of unity even lead?
You see, our story kicks off in the early days, right after the Great Flood. Humanity, all descended from Noah's 3 sons, is starting to grow and multiply. At this point, they're basically one big, unified family.
So as they migrated, they eventually found this perfect spot, a wide, flat plain nestled right between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. It was, the ideal place to lay the foundation for a truly great civilization.
The people, they were ready to build something absolutely magnificent. But they hit a pretty major roadblock. The plain of Shinar was perfect for farming, sure, but it had no stone for construction. None. And this, right here, is where that incredible human ingenuity just takes over. They didn't just find some substitute for stone. No, they invented a whole new technology. They figured out how to make bricks that were actually stronger and more uniform. A total game changer for what they were about to do.
So with this new power, this new technology right at their fingertips, their ambition just went through the roof. They set their sights on a project that was just on a scale nobody had ever imagined. A city with a massive central tower that would literally pierce the skies.
But you have to ask, what was the real motivation here? Was this really just about building a city for shelter? Or was there something much deeper driving this whole incredible undertaking?
And this is where the source material just lays it all out for us. This reveals their true goal. See, it wasn't about honoring God. It was all about achieving fame, about creating their own legacy, and making sure they could secure their own future. So they were driven by pride, this deep desire to make a name for themselves, and also by fear. They wanted to huddle together, to create one powerful hub, which, by the way, was in direct defiance of the command to spread out and actually fill the earth.
Now, this is a really big deal, because we're not just talking about an individual sin anymore. This was all of humanity, united with a single purpose, joining together in this massive collective rebellion. That tower, it became a monument to human arrogance.
So, as this tower climbs higher and higher, the whole perspective of the story shifts. We pull back from the builders on the ground and move up to the one who sees all things from above.
This one simple line from the source is just packed with some profound irony. I mean, here are the people thinking they're reaching the heavens, making a name for themselves on a cosmic scale.
Just think about that for a second. Their greatest achievement, the absolute pinnacle of human ambition, was still so small from a divine perspective that God had to come down just to take a look. It's a really powerful, humbling contrast. And God recognized the danger in their unity. It wasn't a fear that they could actually rival his power, not at all. It was more a recognition that with their runaway pride and ambition, there'd be no limit to their corruption. So the judgment wasn't destructive like the flood had been. It was actually, it was more of a merciful, redirecting act. To halt this prideful project and protect them from themselves, the plan was to take away the very tool that made it all possible, their single, unified language. And that leads us right into the climax of the story, a moment where perfect, unified order just descends into complete and utter chaos.
I mean, can you just picture the scene? One moment, the construction site is this beautiful model of efficiency. The next, a worker yells for mortar and gets handed a hammer. Words just become meaningless sounds. Frustration boils over into anger, and the whole project just grinds to a halt.
And so the city, and its now unfinished tower, got a name that would forever be a reminder of what happened there. Babel. It literally means confused, marking the exact spot where humanity's single voice was shattered into thousands.
So, why are we still talking about this story thousands of years later? What's the enduring echo here? Let's unpack its timeless warning.
What's fascinating is that centuries later, the source material gives us this powerful reversal of Babel. At the event of Pentecost, language barriers are overcome again, but this time it's not to scatter people, but to gather them through a message of humility and genuine understanding. It's a perfect bookend. Ultimately, the story leaves us with some pretty crucial takeaways: that pride is a destructive force, that true unity isn't found in glorifying ourselves, that divine plans will ultimately win out, and that even the diversity of our languages can be seen as part of a much larger design. And this really brings it right home to us today. The story kind of holds up a mirror and challenges us to look at our own world. What are our modern towers? Are they built from incredible technology, or economic power, or just personal ambition? All in this quest to make a name for ourselves. And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. The Tower of Babel was left there, an unfinished monument to human pride. And it just makes you wonder, what towers are we building today, and what foundations are they really standing on?